Before there was a time, before there were galaxies, or gravity, or the things we can even imagine, there was God. And the very first book of the Bible, Genesis, doesn't just tell us what God created, but why it matters. Today we're breaking down what Genesis is about, using the New Revised Standard Version Catholic Edition. Let's get into it. Genesis is the opening chapter of God's relationship with humanity. Think of it like the foundation of a massive story. The whole Bible. Everything that comes after, from Moses to the prophets to Jesus himself, it all starts here. It begins with the famous line, "In the beginning, when God created the heaven and the earth," in Genesis 1:1. In other words, everything starts with God, not chaos, not accident. The first major theme is creation. Genesis gives us not one, but two creation accounts. Not as contradictions, but as two angles showing us who God is. In Genesis 1, God speaks creation into existence. Orderly, intentional, and powerful. In Genesis 2, God is intimate, forming Adam from dust, breathing life into him, shaping Eve from his rib. These scenes teach a core Catholic truth. Humans are made in the image and likeness of God. We're not cosmic accidents. We're created for relationship, purpose, and love. But then comes one of the most important turning points in Scripture, the fall. Adam and Eve choose to trust the serpent over God. They want to be like God, but on their own terms. This isn't just about eating fruit. It's about the human heart. The moment we put ourselves above God, things break. Relationships, trust, creation itself. Genesis isn't saying, look how bad humans are. It's saying this is why suffering, sin, and death exist. But it also hints at hope. The first promise that evil won't win. What Christians call proto-evangelium. The first announcement of the gospel. After the fall, Genesis shows humanity spiraling. Cain and Abel, the flood, the Tower of Babel. But every step, God doesn't give up. In the flood story, God isn't trying to erase creation. He's renewing it. Afterward, he makes a covenant. His promise that he won't abandon humanity. And you'll see this pattern again and again in Genesis. Humanity fails, God responds with justice and mercy. Then everything shifts. Genesis introduces Abraham, the man through whom God begins a rescue mission for the whole world. God tells him, "I will make you a great nation, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." That promise becomes the backbone of the entire Bible. This blessing continues through Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Genesis ends not in paradise, but in Egypt, setting the stage for Exodus. So what is Genesis really about? It's the story of beginnings, of creation, humanity, sin, and salvation. It's the opening chapter of God's plan that eventually leads to Jesus Christ. And it reminds us that even when humanity falls apart, God is still writing a bigger story.